Am I the asshole for telling my family they can't see my daughters anymore, unless they treat both equally? I have 2 daughters, one aged 13 and one 14. It makes me cringe to write this, however. My 14-year-old has done work as a child model, and my 13-year-old is more plain. They're both gorgeous in the eyes of a mother, but I know very well it's a significant difference in the eyes of society, and it breaks my heart. Edit. Yes, we regret letting her model for catalog items, even though clothing including sewing, and Barbie fashion shows, photo shoots were her childhood passion. No, we did not put her in gross pageants. Yes, I would rather she resent us now for not letting her take advantage of the job offers. What my 13-year-old supposedly lacks in her face, she makes up in sweetness. She is such a good girl, and no mother could ask for more. We have frankly had trouble reining in my 14-year-old's arrogance and increasing, bullying behavior. I cry at night sometimes knowing she has turned into that mean girl other girls fear, despite raising her to be a kind and upstanding lady. We are setting up therapy for her in 2021 as everyday discipline, grounding, lectures, etc. Isn't cutting it. We have also put a halt on any modeling work. She became this way in part because so many people treat her like a living goddess. Teachers, physicians, store clerks, total strangers, and sadly, my extended family. Witnessing the way all of these people treat my 13-year-old invisible has contributed to her snottiness and superiority, I am sure. And I feel like it is slowly killing my 13-year-old. Concerning family, there are never any compliments for the other daughter. When we walk in on Thanksgiving or Christmas Day, they exclaim how lovely she looks. They marvel at how she may be even more beautiful this year. They want to hear all about any catalog or social media work. They engage her in discussions and shower her in warm attention. She is loved. My 13-year-old gets a greeting, and an off-handed question about how her schoolwork is. Then she's left to wilt in a corner. I have watched her self-esteem plummet. She has become more and more introverted. She has no confidence anymore. I think she is developing depression. Her father and I try to compensate for the coldness of the world, but I feel significant many people are trying to drill her unimportance into her head. She may need therapy eventually as well. I have told my family that we are having difficulties with my daughter's arrogance. I have asked them to stop fawning over her. I have asked them to please be loving to both my daughters, for their mental health. I have told them they're hurting my youngest in deep, potentially unfixable ways. I have told them their behavior isn't appropriate. And still, it continued. I finally told them we would be doing no more get-togethers until they could get their acts together. Long story short, most dramatic phone calls ever, it has caused a lot of resentment and anger in my family. They think I am being insane. Drool. They're so upset my husband is second-guessing our decision. He is especially worried about cutting off my older relatives who may not have a lot of time left. But I'm sticking to my guns. So, am I the asshole for cutting them out? Edit. Oh my goodness, this got far more comments than I expected. I am sorry if I cannot respond to everyone. I did not think I would get more than maybe 100 replies. Not the asshole. I wish my mom protected me as well as you are protecting your younger daughter. In a way you are also protecting the older daughter. I am a little unsure on how to handle cutting out grandparents who really may have limited time, because that is tough. Still, I feel your hands are tied. Not the asshole, but please get both girls therapy. Sounds like the younger one could benefit as much as the elder. Not the asshole. I would find an activity, and this depends on what is available in these pandemic times, for your younger daughter to shine in. What are her interests and talents? Is she artistic, creative? Does she have a bent for cooking wonderful and tasty things? Is she intellectually curious? Is she good with animals? Find something to develop her interests and allow her to shine. You're right not to fall for their manipulative tactic of saying older relatives may not have a lot of time left. It takes no time at all on their part to be loving to both your daughters, a bottom barrel ask on your part. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You're a great mother, from what little I can tell, and you're doing what's right. It made my heart break reading about your youngest. It might be beneficial for her to find a hobby and something that she's really good at. Girls are told their only worth is their looks, so it might be a good idea for her to develop passions that go beyond that. I mean, this goes for your eldest too. Her looks will fade one day, and if her beauty is the only thing going on for her, she's going to suffer immensely when it goes away. The fact your family won't change their behavior is, frankly, disgusting. It is so bizarre to give such preferential treatment to a child based on looks. It's almost creepy. Not the asshole, and you're an amazing mother for recognizing what's happening to both your daughters. You're right, if you and your husband are the only ones telling your eldest that she's acting in a way that isn't acceptable, then she'll fully believe the problem is with you, not her, and the opposite with your youngest, she'll think you're only being kind to her because you're her parents. Therapy for both will be helpful, along with maybe some voluntary work for your eldest so she work on her empathy? Whatever you decide, you should definitely stick to your guns and be proud of how much you're looking out for both your daughters. Not the asshole, and it sucks that the adults can't understand the damage they're inflicting and the entitlement they're furthering. Good for you for all the decisions you've made regarding your oldest, hopefully she'll learn soon enough those things you're trying to instill. My friend, whoever says, YTA, is not only wrong, but stupid too. You're being the best mother those girls can ask for, and your family is being rude and disrespectful to your wishes when it comes to your children. Maybe you should start showing favoritism to the youngest for about a week's time just to give the oldest a taste of her own medicine. Tell her to get her shit together or she'll never be leaving the house. Beauty isn't a personality. Not the asshole, and no one can say otherwise. Not the asshole. WTF. What kind of family members are basically awestruck by one child but not the other? I'm so thankful I had a childhood in which my grandparents openly loved all their grandchildren equally and gave us equal attention. Honestly, it's disturbing that they're so into your older daughter's modeling career. It's one thing to be supportive, but another to be obsessed. They are not good family members and certainly not healthy people for either of your daughters to be around. Good job, Mom. Protect both girls from your extended family's bizarre actions. Your older one doesn't deserve to be overindulged and your younger one doesn't deserve to be ignored. Take the weirdos out of the equation until they can act like normal adults. If you haven't read Mindset by Carol Dweck, I highly recommend it. Kids getting praised for being smart or pretty is a recipe for disaster. Not the asshole. Protect your youngest daughter. I disagree that she will need therapy someday though. She needs it now as it is already having an effect. I'm average looking. Not ugly. Just fine. It was crazy how I noticed a marked difference in how people treated me after putting on weight. It's quite startling to me how much looks can alter a social situation. Definitely I was treated better when I was slim and closer to society's mold of what a woman should look like. Not the asshole, and I wish both daughters the best. I hope the daughter who modeled doesn't get too conceited, and your other daughter gets a healthy self-esteem. I was the younger, other, daughter. I could have written this exact story from your youngest's point of view. I'm not going to lie, my childhood as the fat science nerd to my 1 year older model sister, I've got a lot of self-esteem issues. But I'm happy. I got a PhD at 28, found a wonderful partner, and have 2 amazing kids. My sister is still chasing happiness and can't find it. She jumps from relationship to relationship, usually overlapping, and literally can't function without being the center of attention. I think you're wise to be concerned about both of them, not just the youngest. Looking back, I think family therapy for us would have worked wonders. Edit. Not the asshole, obviously. Definitely not the asshole. You are doing everything you can to protect your children. Your family should understand your feelings about this. From the way you describe it seems like they know they favor one child over the other. I grew up in a similar situation as the stepchild. My mom and dad didn't have a lot of family, so most of my time growing up was with my stepmother and stepfather's family. Because I was already older when my parents split, the new families had little interest in getting to know me. It was quite obvious that all my new siblings, cousins etc. were favored, and I wish my parents would have been as thoughtful and caring as you and your husband are. Not the asshole. Your younger daughter also needs therapy, now. Don't wait until a crisis. Although it sounds like it already is. Not the asshole. I was kind of in the same boat as the 13-year-old and I can say it sucks. I will also add that my older sibling was practically raised by our maternal grandmother. She was retired and mom had to work for the first few years. Granny always thought of him more than the others, though she loved us all. He wasn't the first grandchild either. Some families have cliques. It sounds like yours does. I wonder why you didn't try. Hey, why do you not talk to 13 more? I notice you seem overly interested in 14. Should I be worried? Lol. My older sister also did modeling as a child. I was similarly subjected to everyone gushing about how pretty she was and then asking me how my grades were or the like. Some differences are that my mom participated in it, and my sister did not turn into a bully because of it. But that dynamic affected me deeply in ways I didn't realize until later and won't get into here. I think your younger daughter could benefit from therapy even if she doesn't realize it yet. Not the asshole at all. You're protecting both of your daughters. Not the asshole, you should have done this much earlier. This is such a difficult and shitty situation as it seems your younger daughter will invariably suffer being compared to her sister. It also probably wasn't the best idea allowing the older one to be a child model and focusing on her looks for profit. You played a significant role in this problem. I wish you were my mother. Stick to those guns. Your relatives are the epitome of cruel. It's interested that they can recognize it in you when you are only protecting both of your daughters but not see it in themselves. Your older relatives are incapable of acting in your children's best interest. That is their fault. Does your husband really think it is better to let these people continue to harm your children because they are older? I don't know your husband's definition of older, but older people can live for years, even decades. Your children shouldn't be exposed to this behavior for one more day. Your daughters need you to do this and to stick to your guns. Please do it. Not the asshole, and you're gonna need to be strict and be strong as hell in order to change the situation you're currently dealing with. So, are they not willing to compromise? Cut them off. You're doing this for the well-being of your daughters. If they don't understand that, then they can walk out the door. Not the asshole. You are handling this entire very difficult situation very well, and you should be supported and commended for trying to do what is in the best interest of both of your children. Not the asshole, but explain exactly what you think about them. I wonder if you can arrange for one-on-one visit with older relatives like grandparents. That will give each daughter a chance to bond with the grandparents on their own terms. And if you can arrange, set these visits for a longer duration of time, like half a day or whole day. I am assuming that even in the case of older daughter, fawning and getting dazzled by her beauty would exhaust in a few hours, and both the parties would have to dig deeper to find other activities to talk about. Once they have a good bond with both the daughters, you can try family get-togethers again. Who knows, the dynamics might change. Not the asshole. I recommend having a set of specific examples of how the two are treated different, so hopefully when you get pushback you can give a real clear, aha, moment. Not the asshole. Since you described her lab and volunteering in a comment, I wonder if there is a way to harness the good side of the internet to show your daughter support outside of the microcosm of your world. Like the viral Twitter support for science and superhero kids, etc. A Twitter story, Instagram feed, pen pals, etc. Whatever level and method you're comfortable with, that shows your daughter the interest that exists outside of your family and community. Not the asshole. I wish my mom had been this way when my family started calling me white girl. I was an avid reader as a child, still am, and I spoke the way they do in books. Meaning I spoke proper English grammar and loved using new words that aren't typically used in casually conversation, so my family dubbed me the white girl. Supposedly because only white people speak that way. She told me to go or them but never made them stop. Not the asshole, and good on you for ending the modeling work. Character will last her a lot longer than a modeling career anyway. You're doing what's best for both daughters. Useless comment here. Growing up, me and my sister, 5 years apart, heard frequently, A is the smart one and B is the pretty one, and what we heard was, A is ugly and B is dumb. It still fucks us up to this day. Just stopping by to say you're a good mother and it's very clear you have the best intentions for both of your daughters. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. What's insane and cruel is how they are treating your younger daughter as if she is unimportant and worthless because she's not as pretty as the oldest daughter. What's insane and cruel is how they have drilled into your older daughter that all that matters is how you look. Not eventually. I would put the 13-year-old in therapy same time as the 14-year-old. Otherwise you also run the risk of appearing to be spending all your time and resources on the older girl while once again ignoring the younger girl. You say she's showing signs of depression. She definitely is. This is the most vulnerable time for her self-esteem and she really needs therapy now if you don't want it to irreparably affect the rest of her life. Not the asshole. People who don't care about a child's mental health. People who are willing to actively harm a child's mental health do not get to tell people trying to protect that child that they are wrong. Not the asshole. And also this may not be the intent, or I am reading it the wrong way, which is highly likely, but approaching therapy as a punishment or discipline is a sure way of making it so therapy doesn't work. Not the asshole. I wish I'd grown up with a mom who had shown me this level of protection and love. You're protecting not just your 13-year-old, but also your 14-year-old. Parents are supposed to be a child's voice and protector, and I think you're doing exactly the right thing. Your children's mental well-being comes way before family members getting their feelings hurt. Boundaries are important, and you should definitely stick to yours. Also, I'm a woman who has dealt with a lot of feelings of being unwanted, so if you or your daughter have any questions or just want to chat, feel free to reach out to me. I would be more than happy to share my experiences and any advice I could offer based on them. Not the asshole. And kudos to you for standing up for the mental well-being of both of your daughters. And I do mean both. Not the asshole. This is the epitome of golden child scapegoat. Thank you for noticing, acknowledging, and trying to fix it. Not the asshole. When they are acting in a way that damage your parenthood, you can cut them of your child's lives. You need to seriously punish you oldest daughter. Tell her what my mom told my sister: if you walked out that door right now and fell on your face, all you would have is a shitty attitude. It worked. True wealth is how rich you are when there's no money left type of logic seemed to set her straight. Not the asshole. You're being a good mother by treating both your kids equally. Nah. Get both daughters into counseling, and focus on the 13-year-old's needs ASAP. Depression is a living hellscape. Speaking as a former child model, please ensure your daughter's therapy also includes finding sources of self-worth outside of her looks. When I got older and my jobs dried up, I felt hideous and like I was useless. Later my nose got broken 4 times over a few years, and I think about it nearly every day. Obviously as a teen I got acne and that made everything even worse. I'm in therapy now and working on seeing what I do as what brings me joy and accomplishment, rather than what I am, how I look. Part of her arrogance is coming from a need to continually assert that she is in fact prettier than everyone else, and therefore still worth something. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You know what's cruel? Being in your 13-yo shoes and being treated this way. As someone who grew up like your 13-yo, reading how much attention you pay to her mental health, and the mental health of your other daughter too of course, made me tear up. Not the asshole at all. Thank you so much for trying so hard to help her. I really wish my mother was more like you. Not the asshole. I was the golden child among my paternal grandparents. They treated my brother as if he was developmentally challenged. I will never, never, forgive them for how my relatives made him feel. You are doing the right thing, friend. Protect your wee one. Not the asshole. Their behavior is badly damaging both of your daughters. Until they can do better you need to protect your kids. Not the asshole. Tell your 13-year-old to keep studying and being kind. Your heart and mind last a lot longer than physical beauty and youth. She has the opportunity to use her invisibility to sneak up from behind and pop out as a successful young woman in whatever field she chooses. If you can get her into some camps or workshops pertaining to her interests this summer, you can help build that confidence by helping her find her people and creating a support system for her. Also, pets can be amazing at helping humans get through hard times. You could always send the pretty one to military school. Worked for a girl in my grade. She came back and behaved herself. Protect your children. All your family needs to say is, "Oh, we didn't realize we were causing problems, and we love you and those two girls so much that we'll do whatever is needed for their safety, happiness, and well-being." You are not the asshole at all. Not the asshole. You haven't even cut them off so much as put conditions on their interactions. All they need to do to see your daughters is acknowledge their behavior and work on changing it. Not the asshole, but it does sound as if you're treating your family as a homogeneous mass of people. Are you sure that some of them aren't kinder than the others? By the way, talk to your 14-year-old's teachers when she's back at school. Lots of teachers want to be tough on kids for bad behavior, but it just isn't worth it, knowing that the parent is likely to fly into a rage. Tell the teachers that you have their backs, and that you will support them 100% if they punish her for rude behavior in class. It doesn't solve everything, but it helps a tiny bit.